When are people gonna learn? Do not say this man's name in the mirror at all. It's not worth it. It's not a game. It's not worth it. Just don't do it. Candyman 2021 is a direct sequel to 1992's Candyman and is beautifully directed by Nia DaCosta. But does this movie reach the same heights as its predecessor? Let's discuss. Let's just go straight into the positives with this film. This has to be one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. The cinematography is absolutely masterful. I'm a cinematography whore and I love this movie so much. It's shot so beautifully. Some of the shots in this movie really blew me away. There's shots in this film that I never knew were even possible. It is so masterful. This is probably some of the best camera work you'll ever see in a film. The performance from Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Anthony is amazing. He's an actor that just has that it factor. He really knocked it out of the park with his performance here in this film. The writing in this film was fairly strong for the most part. There's actually some humor fused in there throughout the movie, and I'm assuming that comes from Jordan Peele, who was a co-writer and a producer on Candyman. There was a lot of scenes that actually generally made me laugh, and it was kind of weird having humor fused in this movie because the first one doesn't really have a lot of humor in it. But it's obviously not all jokes here. This is still a horror film with some pretty decent kills here, but it's not necessarily in the forefront of the film. The kills are mostly from a third-person perspective, going for a showing less is more approach, which might disappoint some viewers if you're looking for a hack-em-up slasher such as the likes of Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees. The main narrative of this film include very difficult subject matters such as racism and gentrification of African Americans. Now these themes are very horrific in their own right, and I'm glad Nia DaCosta was able to display those themes without making it cheesy. This sequel plays a lot of homage to the original. There's so many Easter eggs and little tidbits that fans of the first one will catch on. You might find yourself sitting in the theater being like, oh, that person's from the first movie, or that's a visual callback right there. You might just see yourself just pointing all over the screen and catching all the little callbacks that they have. It's pretty cool. The way they go about the mythology of Candyman in this film is very interesting. It connects to the first one in such an awesome way that I'm not going to spoil for you guys because it's really interesting to see it on the screen. A couple of the negatives I did have with this film though is that there's one character in particular where the writing for that character is very odd. This character makes a decision that is just way out of left field and didn't make much sense to me. I know I'm being very vague. It's just because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. So I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna push forward anymore. My other negative with this film is that I wish the kills were a little bit more creative and a little bit more bigger and grand. I found myself watching scenes that had a lot of tension, a lot of great buildup, but it just fell flat because the kills would pan away to someone in a third perspective. They wouldn't necessarily show you the money shot. They would kind of shy away from it. And they went for the less is more approach, which does work, but I found myself just wanting more violence and more blood in this movie. You do get some of that, but I just wanted more. Maybe it's just because I'm just a fucking gorehound, but I found that very lacking in this film because the first one has a lot of great bloody gore, and I kind of wanted more of that in this film because, you know, it's 2021, we have so much more technology and great practical effects as well as visual effects. You can pull off some really creative stuff with the hook. You can get some really awesome kills, but I felt like it was a little bit more tame, and that kind of disappointed me a little bit. During the violent scenes, I'm just like, give me more, I want more. Maybe it's because I'm just a weirdo, so I don't know. I might be in the minority on that one. With all that being said, I think Candyman 2021 is a great sequel to the original. It hits all the boxes for me. It has a couple negatives, but I still found myself really enjoying this film. I'm gonna give Candyman 2021 an 8.5 out of 10. My question for you guys is, have you seen Candyman? What did you think of the film? I really want to know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate you guys just starting a discussion about what you guys thought about the film. I think this is a really great start to a lot of horror movies we're getting very soon. We're getting Halloween Kills soon. We got the Chucky TV series soon. We got Scream coming back. We got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jeepers Creepers. A lot of iconic horror villains are back in mainstream media, and I love it. And that's gonna do it for this video. I really appreciate you watching this to the end. You guys are awesome, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.